If you add 48 million to 195 million, you are somewhere around 243 million. And we start the competition here in Accra. Now, this was good background, right? We start the competition and issues after issues, especially pertaining to money. If it's not money, it means it is about things that as a result of the lack of funds. Where is the money? Let's get into it. Yaw.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Thierry. Now, before I start, I just want to say that, I mean, if you're watching this anywhere, this is not to paint Ghana black or to say that, we don't love Ghana or anything. I personally do not know anybody who loves Ghana as much as I do. And constantly we've been trying to put out a positive image about the country. But when things are going awfully bad, we need to talk about it.
Okay.
Yesterday when I saw the video of Leslie Addo, I was really sad because Leslie is one of the best badminton players we have in this country. He has gone through badminton from being a boy all the way till now. And this is some sort of a crowning moment where he has an opportunity to showcase what he has in front of his home nation. And that is how they treat him. The minister tells us that they've spent so much money on infrastructure, whatever.
Yeah.
The minister said $16 million. $16 million went into the Games Village.
Yeah.
$16 million went into buildings that were there already.
And the 16 million actually covered air conditioning, painting, and then adjustments of the beds.
That's 16
because it was 4 in a room.
Yeah.
And then they changed all of them to 2 in a room.
So
16 million.
So the 16 million could not get Leslie a pair of shoes that fit his feet to be able to play the badminton that he wanted.
For the sake of our audience, Leslie.
Not even a size smaller that you can say that it will
not even a size smaller.
47 to 36.
He's a size 47. They gave him a size 36. That's what they gave him.
Terry, for context, even I am a 43-year-old.
Yeah.
That's like 36. A 15-year-old footwear.
36.
That's the thing. The size 36 will not fit. It will not fit a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
The size 36 might not fit a 10-year-old.
Even a teenage girl, it may not.
No, it will not.
That is what they gave to Leslie Addo to compete for Ghana with. Leslie Addo said they were transported from Legon to Boteman in a pickup. That was how they got there.
8 people in the bucket.
8 people in the pickup buckets. That's how they got to Boteman. Why must this happen to people who have laid down themselves to do sports for the country?
Not to catch you.
Is it a crime to be a sports person?
322 or 325 cars on paper were procured within the 48
They are
million
roaming around
budget.
Accra. You don't know where they are going.
For who is inside the car?
The city.
The interesting thing is, I don't know if you've noticed,
nothing.
guys, some of the cars are registered 2020,
Yes.
2022,
Yes.
2021.
Yes.
You procure a vehicle for events, and you are telling me that they were registered 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Rented cars.
Yeah, they went to rent it from Iwata Motors or somewhere, but they don't want to say it. Anyway, that's what they did to Leslie Addo, number 1. Number 2, we've seen the cyclists.
Yeah.
We've seen what they've done to them.
Yeah.
Michael Naba is one of those guys who has dedicated themselves to ride to compete in cycling for Ghana. He gets there with his own bicycle. The state could not even give him a bicycle. And you see, do you know why all of these things is happening? It is because the sports minister and the people around him who are trying to organize the African Games have not consulted federations to know what the federations need so that they can give it to them. It is an incompetence World Cup that is happening wherever they are. And it doesn't go anywhere but to the sports minister's doorstep. He wants to deflect it and say, oh, but we can ask other people to do it. The sports minister is the biggest culprit in all of this. And he has shown that the level of incompetence we are seeing. Look, you remember what Malam Issa had to go through?
Yeah.
For
$40,000. For
$40,000.
Yeah.
He was maligned on radio. I remember
he had to be jailed.
I was in JSS at the time. Yeah, he had to be He was maligned, he was ridiculed, he was stripped of any form of decency he has. Today, look at the sports minister and how much money he's spending. Or how much money he has been able to stand in front of the public to tell us that he has spent on a games village that already existed. Elizabeth Say and Alex Kwapon were already there. You are telling me that you spent 16 million on those facilities. That's fine. But even if you spend 60 million, what happens to the athletes? Why are the athletes complaining? Every federation I have met has complained that they do not have this or they do
table
not have
tennis,
that.
swimming.
Now the news also is that the LOC themselves are also complaining. Why is the LOC complaining?
Hold on. The LOC are supposed to be the local organizing committee.
Yes.
Basically, they are the guys government entrusted.
Thank you.
To put these games together.
Yes.
Which means that we're supposed to be working with the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Thank you very much.
What they get from the ministry is funding.
Yes.
What they give to the ministry is advice on how to operate.
Yes.
And they are complaining.
Thank you. Now, number one, I want to start with the media. There's an African Games. Now, usually you just like to remind yourselves of certain things that has happened in Ghana and how it was organized.
Yeah.
You remember what CAN 2008 was like?
Very good.
Months before CAN 2008, everybody was wearing shirts of CAN 2008 in the city. And everywhere across the country. Everybody was ready for CAN 2008 with paraphernalia and all of that. The media, everybody was spreading the word. Do you know the media budget for the African Games? 500,000 Ghana cedis. That's how much that's how much is on paper.
Out of 600 million Ghana cedis.
It is 500,000 Ghana cedis that is allocated for media. And that is why we have accreditation stress, where people travel from Uganda and come to Ghana and they don't get accreditation because...
I'm actually still waiting on mine.
Yes. And have you seen the accreditation they've given you? It's a paper.
I was asking Oreku. I was asking you.
Yeah.
I was asking you why an A4 sheet had to be torn at the top.
They've put Kente on the A4 and then they've just torn it and written your name on it. And
no, you see, the interesting thing is, we've covered events before.
Yes.
We've covered football tournaments before.
That is the level of incompetence.
Even friendly games outside the country. You should see what they give.
Thank you. And I'm reliably informed that it was 500,000 Ghana cedis that was allocated for media.
In the LOC, did we had a media rep?
Yes.
Someone who stood for the media, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Joe, give me this.
For context.
So Joe, for context.
Yeah, this bill's...
So this is the AFCON.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is the AFCON.
Yeah.
Okay. So the camera can capture this. Let me point it this way. So if you're watching us on Facebook, that's at 3 Sports GH or 3FM 927. This is what an AFCON accreditation looks like.
Yes.
I wish Yaw and myself and Oreku, whoever, would have brought other accreditation what they look like. This, you see, card.
Yeah.
They are giving us A4 sheets in some lamination material.
Yes.
And that is supposed to
that
is supposed to suffice.
Yeah.
So all the media officers from all the other 53 other countries that are participating will come to Ghana and see this.
Yes. Now, it is not just them. There are people who have traveled from Tamale, Kumasi, Takrade, wanting to come to the games in Accra. They get transportation all the way from wherever they are, get to Accra, and then they tell them that your accreditation has been denied. When they have an email that says that, congratulations, your accreditation has been approved. They get there and then they tell them that the accreditation application has been denied. I mean, what sort of a mess is this? And that was where we should have all been very angry. That is one of the biggest messes around the African Games. The first thing is the media, the media budget. Now there are no billboards. There's no paraphernalia in town that shows that any African Games is starting.
People are still asking
because the money to be given, that 500,000 Ghana cedis has still not reached the media subcommittee of the local organizing committee. I'm telling you.
500,000 in itself is paltry.
Yes.
And it hasn't reached.
It hasn't gotten there.
Oja.
It hasn't gotten there. I'm telling you, it hasn't. We have been reliably informed that it hasn't gotten to them. The money hasn't gotten there. There are certain people in the LOC now who are very uncomfortable, but they just can't speak because they are part of the LOC. Let me move away from media and go to marketing. Now, number one, the LOC was inaugurated some 3 years ago. You remember at the Flagstaff House? They put the committees together, everybody, whatever.
They took nice pictures.
The first person who was supposed to be head of marketing was Rex Brobe.
Yeah.
Mr. Rex Bobby, what did you do? Nothing.
As head of marketing.
Nothing. 2 months ago, he left the position as head of marketing for Yaw Ofosu.
Yeah.
And within those 2 months is what everything you are seeing now that is happening at the
and
African
truth
Games
is
around the market.
Everything we've seen has been the last 2 months.
Yeah. Everything you are seeing, the branding, whatever, has been Yaw Ofosu's work, because at 1 a.m. and Yaw Ofosu is not. I'm not saying this because Yaw Ofosu is my friend or anything, but we are seeing the work that he has put in within these 2 months. Rex Bobby had been there for 3 years and did nothing. Zero. This is someone whose claim to fame is that he ran beside Carl Lewis at the Olympics
many years ago.
He didn't win. He won nothing for Ghana.
Yeah.
Rex Bobby won nothing for Ghana. For him to be walking about feeling like he brings
superstars to the country.
No.
Maybe that's another achievement.
No. The thing is, he started Ghana's fastest human. We thank him for that.
Yeah.
This is African Games.
This is the biggest thing.
This is the biggest day. This is where you have to show us that I can actually do something. What have you done? How many sponsors did you bring on board for this African Games? Nothing. And Rex Bobby is trying, or no, not even Rex Bobby, everybody around the LOC and then the organization of the opening ceremony is trying to tell me that of all the athletes we've had in this country, all the boxers we've had who have been so good for Ghana, it was Rex Bobby who went to light the African Games torch for us.
Why?
Why, dear? Why? Because Stephen Appiah was contacted. At some point, they shunned him. Azuma Nelson was contacted. At some point, they shunned. Did you see Azuma Nelson at the opening ceremony? No. Azuma Nelson is literally Africa's greatest boxer. If you have an African Games in a country of Azuma Nelson's birth, isn't he the one to light the torch?
Has the sport boxing.
Isn't he the one to light the torch?
And these are people you don't need to go and bring from anywhere. They are here. They're in the country.
They are here.
They're in the country.
They are here.
In the city.
How then does Rex Bobby light the torch for us? What did he win? What did he do for Ghana? Running beside Carl Lewis? Is that what we are going by now? There are so many athletes who also run beside certain big athletes. Even Emmanuel Tufo has a better Ghana career than Rex Bobby has. Rex Bobby's claim to fame is Ghana's fastest human. Like I said, we thank him for that. But for the organization of the African Games, he has failed. And he is one of the people that everybody needs to turn their attention to for how bad and how poorly organized these games have been. Because he sat there as head of marketing on the LOC and did nothing for close to 4 years.
And you see,
the games was postponed. Don't forget that the games was postponed for 1 year.
And for any venture to prosper, it takes marketing. Because if the marketing is done wrong, nothing works. You don't get the publicity, you don't get sponsors, nobody's interested.
The only billboard
nobody knows about
of the African Games
it's
at Okponglu, and the stadium is right behind
it's right there. So what are you marketing?
That's how
there's
venues
no
change overnight, and even sports journalists don't know about it. They don't know.
People call us and say,
they'll say it's here. The next morning it's at a different place.
How do you do something like that? Because nobody is prepared for anything. They tell us that table tennis is at Boteman. Journalists get to Boteman and then they say it's at Bukom Boxing Arena. They leave Bukom Boxing Arena and then they say it's at Accra International Conference Center. How do you mess things up like that? What about the athletes who are participating?
And this is supposed to be the games that had about $240 million entrusted to the organizers.
Thank you very much.
$240 million.
They still haven't finished the hockey pitch.
Charlie.
The hockey pitch is not done.
Yeah.
You should have seen La Boma on Friday. They are playing beach volley there today. You should have seen it on Friday. Nothing. Zero branding. Nothing.
Let's not forget. Athletes came into the country. Foreign athletes came into the country about 3 days before the start of all of this.
Yes.
And they didn't have anywhere to sleep. They had to be checked into hotels.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When a village, like how I saying,
an already existing
$60
one,
million.
first of all.
Yeah. An existing, and you see, under the comments on social media, some of the students in Legon were like, so you sacked us early from school for this?
Thank you.
Because that's a communication.
And Terry,
we are letting you go home early. We are cutting the semester short this year for this.
And let us not get it twisted though. It's not like the halls were in bad states. Yeah. Everybody here has gone to those halls before.
I spoke to the head of accommodation, and she says they had to after the students left, they needed to fumigate the rooms and paint. And that is why the whole thing has delayed. Fumigation.
The fumigation, Oreku can pay for fumigation.
No, so are you telling me, seriously, are you telling me that we didn't know that we're going to host games starting from a certain day? And knowing this, we know that we're supposed to paint, we're supposed to fumigate, meaning that the occupants of the rooms should leave a certain number of days before, so that you have the right the right amount of time to be able to do all these preparations for the foreign guys to come in.
Yes.
How are you telling us that this is supposed to be some good excuse?
Yes.
We're fumigating.
Yes. And see,
we take it.
Another thing that hurts me so much about these African games is that, look, they have put together the marketing. They need me pass anything.
Yeah.
They put together a marketing team of Malko Afajenu, Senior Hosi.
One of the best, actually, Malko.
I mean, some of the best.
Of course.
Malko Afajenu, Senior Hosi, Kwame Banyako.
Look at that.
Exactly. And you see, the money these people are supposed to work with is not getting to them. How do they work? You are just putting people on committees.
These are not just marketing gurus. These are marketing gurus with sports background.
I'm telling you,
sports knowledge.
You are just putting people together and killing their integrity because you don't want to release monies for them to actually do the work. And that is terrible. It is terrible preparation, whatever it is. And that's why the minister is one of the, like I said, he's the biggest culprit in all of this. Because if he had released monies, or if they had not overinflated whatever budgets they were using, we could have all just said, oh, maybe, if you told us that the halls cost you $5 million, how many people would have complained about $5 million?
We'll take it. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, but you understand? 16 million for you to put something like this together when athletes do not even have shoes to compete. It's terrible.
If you had even shut down a hotel,
I'm telling you.
for that,
I'm telling you.
People really need to understand the context when you say you are refurbishing something or you are trying to
build it from scratch.
Like there are two different things. Building from scratch, that means you are going to lay foundation, which many people would know. Trenches,
you need to buy building materials, everything.
Everything is totally different. But here's the case: you are not going to do all that from ground zero.
Thank you.
Things are already in place, and the things that they are talking about to replace are not things that are deep to reach 10 million. To be very honest,
even if you were buying the highest of quality,
let's be honest.
This is how we throw lists or we throw monies about, because look, it's terrible what we do with how much we claim we've spent on certain things.
One of the worst defenses I've seen about this budget is when someone is asking, and it's someone in the certain government. I don't like getting into politics on radio, and the person is asking a journalist when they went to Ivory Coast, how much money was spent in Are you comparing the Africa Games?
Thank you.
To hosting the Africa Cup of Nations? Do you know how many facilities you need? How many highways you need to construct? How many hotels you need to put together before hosting a major football tournament? Can you compare the African Games?
Basic activation.
No, seriously. Can you compare the African Games?
They knew what was happening in the town.
And
nobody needed to say anything.
And you see, we cannot compare the amounts, but you should also know that the stage is different. It is 20 times bigger than the African Games. Now, I'm not saying the African Games it doesn't hold any value, but the number of spectators, foreign spectators you are expecting, the number of dignitaries you will expect with the African Cup of Nations, it has not. It's incomparable. How someone thinks that because of politics they can ask a journalist, how much money did Ivory Coast spend? How much money are we spending? Stop complaining.
Yeah, and look, the thing is that you can consistently go along that tangent, but everything around the African Games has shown that everything has been poor. There's been lights outs at the
the Doomsday one.
Yeah,
lights out. Is it a joke? Months ago, years ago, when they were saying if Nigeria, if Ghana hosts the World Cup, there will be lights off, and it's literally playing before eyes. Is it some sort of joke?
Yes. It happened twice. The same game. It happened twice in the same game, and they are telling us that we spent X and X money. Everybody's complaining, and like I said, look, the cyclists, the thing is, the swimmers don't expect much from governments. Trust me, because they
are used to it anyway.
Yeah, they are used to it. They've handled it themselves over the years. But the boxers will come back to Ghana. They are coming back to Ghana on the 12th.
Yeah.
They will come back to Ghana. They will start fighting from the 15th, and you will hear what will come out of the boxers. The thing is that, look, these things are happening. They are hearing, they are seeing, but nothing will change until it finishes. And you will consistently see these things happening over this period until the 23rd when everything finishes. But I just want to end here. But I just want to say that, look, we need to do better as a country. Stop telling us to report positive news when there's nothing positive to report.
Okay.
If there's something positive to report, we did at the start of the show, when Abeku won, we've said it. Winifred Intumi's 3 medals has been talk of the day. But we are not going to look at Michael Naba, who has used his own bicycle to train all these years and had to use his own bicycle for a major race like this, lose an opportunity to do well for himself, and then say that we are going to turn a blind eye to him and cover just the positive news. We are not going to do that. I'm not going to look at what Leslie Addo had to say and say that we are not going to cover what Leslie Addo had to say, but we will talk about Abeku alone. It is not done anywhere. It needs balance. And so far, the negativity has outweighed the positivity of this African Games. It cannot go on. The authorities need to do something about it. The sports minister, wherever the money you are saying you put in African Games is, release it to the people who have to use it and let them use it.
It's that simple.
Let them use the money. Football started at the African Games on Friday. Do you know that the media center had nothing? No branding. The media center of the Accra Sports Stadium had no branding of African Games.
So as far as I know, I'm watching the Ghana Premier League.
You are watching the Ghana Premier League. It had no branding. The table was there like that.
Even that has a bit of branding.
Yes, the table was there like that. It took the CAF media officer to call the minister and say, we can't do this over here. We can't have a press conference in there. Before the minister is calling, where's Yaw Ofosu? Where is this person? Where is this person? Can you people do something right now? Why don't you know that you need the media center ready for a football event? Why don't you know that? It is the most basic of things. Why don't you know it?
And all of this is even off the games.
Yes.
Within the games, there are even more major issues.
Thank you.
Like how is it that badminton cannot start on a set day because of wind speed?
Because the branding is not even done.
How is it that cycling could not start immediately? Just because ambulance was in there. Ambulance was in there.
Yes.
Hey,
It wasn't fuel.
It wasn't fuel.
Meanwhile,
a
a few months ago, we saw a Ghana ambulance in Dubai. I don't know who shipped it there now, but it was there. We saw it in a video.
Terry, how is it that
it was branded?
How is
Ghana
it that
Ambulance Service.
Even esports, Warmer Plus Esports Festival had banner, had T-shirts, had activation.
It's true.
But we cannot get it for this.
It's true. It's true. The people who came to play the esports, weren't they wearing warmer plus
T-shirts?
Yes.
And this is just us, basically just us.
And just look at the timing, the small time, hashtag everywhere. You can't do that.
You can't do that for African Games. You can't. The minister is telling us that they can't engage influencers to make noise about the African. Look at the opening ceremony. The almost empty stadium at the opening ceremony.
They were busing people for free. From Ghana.
When there are people in this country. There are people in this country who can just say, go to the stadium, everybody will go.
Yeah.
Captain Smart can say, go to the stadium, everybody will go.
Yeah.
Nana McBrown can say, stadium, everybody will go.
Yeah.
But all of these people were not engaged. Why were they not engaged to be part of the African Games?
The games, like there be some secret thing,
Be like behind closed doors.
Because the thing is, this money that you are hoarding, the money that you need to put into the games that you are hoarding, at the end of the day, you are the only one going to stop the money. Then what will happen? I don't get it.
Because whether we like it or not, people will build estates after these games. Please. People will build some nice apartments in cantonments. When you see some new ones springing up, ask questions. Okay.
Hopefully, 2-bedroom.
So, Bill, you've been wanting to speak for a while.
Thank you very much. So,
false prophet.
Yes. So, as for me, I was covering table tennis a lot.
Okay.
And during that coverage, I went one day to go and report. And then someone comes to tap me.
Seriously, within 45 seconds, tell us the story. How did you end up being an announcer?
Charlie, so I went there on a normal day to go and report. I was standing at my corner, trying to watch, the game. Then someone comes to tap me. Charlie, we need an announcer.
We need an announcer?
Because there's none. There's no announcer
at the African Games.
There is no announcer.
But it's on the budget too.
See,
Bill, did you get paid?
And what?
Big question. Were you paid?
No,
But it's on the
are you
budget
sure?
type.
Yes,
I am very sure.
I'm not.
No.
Table tennis announcer is on the budget.
Bill, you need an invoice.
No, but Terry, now he has
See.
publicity, so
No,
people
no,
have
no,
called
no,
me to
no,
engage
see.
him for other
See.
events.
See, and it wasn't just an ordinary game. It was the singles final for men, single final for women, which featured the two best players in Africa. For both of them, Aruna Kadri played Omar Asa. Also, Dina Meshref played Hanagoda. Those were the two best in each. Two best. But you don't have an announcer for that. And I had to step in as one.
In the red corner.
This is important because I didn't know before that. I did not know that Bill was an announcer.
No, but Natato for stand firm.
Yeah, because Bill is coming. Bill is coming.
See, that's just by the way. I mean, Team Ghana, the Team Ghana table tennis players, we all know that they didn't get a medal. I mean, there was 1-2 points where they go close to getting to the medal bucket, but they never did. Now, one of them put me aside. First, it was a female. The second was a male. The female was telling me that she had to borrow rackets to play. She had to borrow. They didn't provide them with rackets. She had to borrow. And you know, with table tennis, you have to play with a racket for some time to actually get a feel and know how to maneuver your way and play well. She didn't get the luxury of that. She had to borrow from someone. Now, for the other side, apparently before every major tournament, the table tennis team is allowed to get a general captain who is more like a bridge between them, federation, government, to settle the monetary side of things. This time they didn't have the luxury, they didn't have the opportunity to do that. And so they don't know how much they are supposed to receive as allowance. Mm-hmm. They don't know how much they are supposed to receive as per diem. They do not know that. They do not know. So how do you expect them to come and perform and give you medals? How? Mm-hmm. Because, see, when one of the games was won and I was there, they came to me and they were like, Charlie, some of them came to me like, Charlie, see, we are winning, but we are not happy. We are not happy at all because of what is happening. We are not being treated fairly. And this all goes to the doorstep of the government. Because if you engage the federations, you know what they need. You provide them early. I remember Malcolm Afejinu was saying that we performed even exceeding expectation, in spite of, he used the words in spite of, because he understood that this is the problem the table tennis team is going through. They are not getting rackets. They have to borrow. Their per diem, they don't know. Their allowances, they don't know. Then you come and expect them to win you medals. How would you expect that? How? It's never done. It is never done. And even just recently, on yesterday, you know, when the princesses were supposed to play. Mm-hmm. Now, I get an email at 11:45 a.m. telling me that the bus is expected to depart from Accra at 12:30. How do you expect me, a journalist, to get ready in an hour to come and board the bus if I was interested in going to Cape Coast to go and watch a match? How do you expect me?
Late planning.
How do you expect me? Is that not wickedness? And even that bus they took had an accident on the way.
It did?
It did. It had an accident. I spoke to one of the people who were part of who boarded the bus. And he was explaining the thing. He was scared. All of this rushed. And then you expect us to give you your best. You expect Ghanaians to win you medals. You expect journalists to always be praising you when you're not doing things right. Fortunately, no one got injured, but they were all scared. They had to wait for an extra 1 hour, 30 minutes before getting a new bus to take them to Cape Coast. And earlier today, this afternoon, a Nigerian called me, complaining bitterly that he's heard from his friends about organization. Poor, shambolic.
And we can't even say this is Nigeria taunting Ghana because these are facts.
Yeah. He was like, let's put that was his first statement. Let's put banter aside. the organization has been shambolic. In fact, he was trying to tell me that it looks like he knows Nigeria is incompetent at some things, but it seems Ghana is beating Nigeria to it when it comes to incompetence. What kind of shameful thing is this? Why?